Hi, this is Luke Wera from Vancouver, British Columbia. Thanks for listening to the Crown Refs podcast. Serve the game.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming at you virtually live from the Rogers Center, the now defunct Rogers Center in Vancouver, Canada, via NBA 2K. I am here with FIBA official Luke Wera. How are you, sir?
Not bad. Not FIBA yet, though, but on the path, though.
So you have to get certified to become a FIBA official while you're doing FIBA games? How does that work?
Yes, yeah. So there's like the 5-tier system, like, like recreational level 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 is a FIBA carded official, right? 4 is certified as national, 3 is viewed as provincial ref, and then 1 and 2 are within your associations, right? So it's kind of like the ladder that you go up. So yeah, I'm trying to get to the top, but we'll see what happens.
Well, thanks for laying down that foundation for us. I was unaware of the FIBA steps. It's always interesting for us Americans to hear what's going on outside the States. I know before we get started, you had a question about one of my plays.
I did. There's the clip that you sent me was a really quick bang hitter play, block charge in the open court. And I just wanted to see your thought process on what you saw to make that decision.
All right, let's have a little reverse game notes action and look at one of my plays.
I watched it like 15 times in slow-mo. Can you just tell me what you saw in the play to make you the decision to call a block?
Can I hear what you saw first?
The one I saw was it seemed to me to develop as a charge, but just the way the player fell, it just didn't make sense for it to be a charge, because it seemed like he was trying to avoid contact as the defender was walking into him. And I'm assuming just the way the player landed, because he played it and landed through his chest, he landed off to the side, like on diagonal. So it looked like the guy stepped into his space, and it was very close if he had established legal guard position, but it seemed to me like he clipped him with his knee when the offensive player was trying to go around him. And that's why he ended up this way instead of like a pancake over, right?
Sometimes the way they crash and the way they land and how their body absorbs the contact is a teller on what the correct call could be. So I like your logic there. I agree. That's a really, really close play. It's a hard play. It's a quick play. There's a lot of contact. It's happening in the open court. So basically I have B1 establishing an initial legal guarding position as A1's still in the backcourt. He's about 20 feet away from him when he establishes, but he does establish. He's facing him 2 feet on the ground. Offensive player loses the ball ahead of him, which causes the defender to now run forward. So anytime a defender is running forward, now he's lost his legal guarding position. So as I see the loose ball, with my left eye, now I'm looking at the defender. So I have the ball and the offense basically in my right eye. My left eye as a defender, all I see is that running motion. So I'm using that information leading up to the block or leading up to the crash. So I tried to follow him as much as I could. I noticed him going forward. And anytime a player is going forward with high speeds like this, it brings our radar up a little bit more. Like, okay, he's running forward. We're going to have a crash. He needs to do everything he can to make sure he comes to a complete stop before contact. So that was my criteria here. Did B1 stop running and stop his forward movement in order to establish that initial legal guarding position right before the crash? In my opinion, he didn't. There was still lingering effects of him trying to run fast and then just stop. He's not just going to stop right away on a dime, a big man like that. So I think his body's still moving forward, which is why the offensive player gets kind of hip checked the way he did. Upon review, I like the block. I've showed officials that like charge. I've showed officials that like block. So, I mean, it's really to each his own. The play is over. It's never coming back. There's no right answer. There's no right answer. It's all about what you called in that moment. But I looked at it a lot. It's a great play. That was my first play of the year. So that was my first play since being off for basically 11 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why I love it, because I was ready for it, you know?
That's good. Because like I feel a lot of officials, they saw that it would be deer in headlights like this, right? And then all of a sudden you're like not putting a whistle on that play, and then like you have both coaches yelling at you, right? Instead of just like putting a whistle on the play that needs to like bodies to the floor. Like unless I always was told if you can explain why the body's to the floor and why you didn't have a whistle, then hold it. Like if there's a body to the floor, there's a reason why the body's to the floor. Right. So especially in the open court crash scenario, right?
Yeah.
And it just happened like that, like bang bang, right? Like guys running like this, looking for the ball or whatever, and just turns. All of a sudden, this guy's like trying to anticipate a steal and like just creeping in too quick, and just like boom happens, right?
Yeah.
So no, but when I remember watching you, just like it was so strong and so confident, like there's no doubt in your mind, like anyone in the gym was going to argue with you that it'd be a block. Everyone's like, obviously. The defense is like, come on, ref. Like, I was there though, but like, did you get any flack from the coach, or the coach was?
No, not really. I mean, it was early in the game, one of the first calls of the game. I think plays like that, they're so close. It's like either way, you almost got to accept, and I think it's important to not sell it, but to come with I don't want to say a cadence whistle, although in that position, I did kind of have a cadence whistle. Given because I was refereeing a primary defender, so I had to switch over. So it took me a second. I'm not going to just rush and then just come out hitting my hips 3 times. So I just try to let it process and take up as much time as possible. And then for my blocks, I like to double tweet, just like my charge. It's like do because I'm still processing, and then I step towards the play with just
I did notice that, right? It's not just sideline standing there doing your things. You actually run in and just strong, right? And just direction point right away, right?
Yeah, by run in, like take a few steps in, one or two.
It's sprint to the player right in front.
Because you've seen the official that runs in just smacking their hips.
It's not good. It's
Well, I'm happy we could
up to half court and just like I don't even know, like fast feeds to half court to throw out like a charge signal. It's not necessary. We all
used to dance before throwing. I used to do the bachata, the merengue, everything, my 2-step, my bop hop. I mean, I got a whole catalog. But that's one of the calls in officiating that makes it fun for officials, It's like a player who dunks the ball. Players like dunking. We like calling charges and illegal screens and blocks and heavy duty calls like that. So
that's definitely a heavy duty call, right?
But I'm happy we could start game notes with a little bit different of a flow. So I'm glad that you led with that conversation. I'm real interested in meeting with you on this follow-up to our IPR. I didn't hear any of your feedback on what you thought of the report, so I just want to pass the ball to you and hear your feedback, how you broke everything down.
The first thing I did was I watched the mechanics video you sent me, right? So the first time I have my phone out and I'm watching, and as you're talking to it, I'm just like mirroring you, like all this stuff, right? The second time through, I started to take notes. So everything you said, like I was just bullet pointing notes, making my own notes, right? Went to the mirror, practiced it, right?
Good.
My next step was to go over your timestamps, and I just went timestamp. I watched it the first time and look for your points, right? Like, okay, like I totally agree with you. Like that first point, I think the shooting foul. When I saw it without your points, I was like, damn, like where am I, right? Like. And then you added it to it. I was like, like it's like I need to have that awareness and urgency to drop instead of just being like stagnant on one spot. Just try to see that play develop before it happens and get to the spot, the best possible spot to referee that play, right? And then like when you showed it to me, I was like, I'm like the ghost, Casper the ghost. Like where the hell am I on a 3-point shot? Like and then I'm coming into that play and then blowing my whistle, which like if you are really observing me, it's like the coach has criteria to be like you weren't on that play, right? Like you just like you're guessing on that play, right? So it's just like no, it was very detailed. You see, like you really put a lot of thought and effort into it. Like you really broke it down, I did share my IPR with two of my closer officials. I just told them just keep them to themselves, keep it to yourselves, don't tell anyone. Just like watch the video, like watch my game tape and learn from my mistakes. So like when you ref, like this is not happen to you, right? Like you don't be in the same situation I'm in, so that you're prepared to referee that play that I made a mistake on, right? So it's just like they were thankful. They really thanked me for it. They said like, you know, like even from the picking up the video stuff, they picked up a few stuff. It's like now I just gotta go out there and practice it, right, and do it, right. Like right now you can only really do it in your mirror or just in your head or whatever, right? So yeah, like no, I'm really thankful for the effort that you put into it and like the professionalism behind it, right? Like it's like, well, like I said, this last year I was supposed to go to camp, but it got canceled with COVID. So I'm like, this is like my camp, you know, like for the last year. So I'm like in pretty much my room, right? So I don't have to like fly out like 3 hours or whatever on the plane, but book a hotel, or, like worry about transportation, you know. So
listen, we try to make Crown Refs University as accessible and frictionless as possible.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you got value out of it and that you also shared it with your friends. You're a good partner. Let me ask you this. Have you had a chance to step back on the court and apply some of the things that you learned in the IPR?
No. The health order restrictions are still in place. They're moving forward. They're lifting some restrictions, but there's still no timeline to when a return to sport phase 2 will be, right? Because I think they bumped it up to like phase 3, which was like small cohort competition for youth. Adults have not only been able to practice within their own bubble, but even like their practices right now, they're just like no contact. So it's all skills.
Gotcha.
Right. So how many people are following it? I don't know. Like it's kind of like it's there. Like universities have to abide by these restrictions, but there's been lifting going on. But I do know when I was listening to your podcast and doing all this stuff, like with the work in the basement before you came out. I remember I came out and what was in like November, and they had a couple games. And I'm coming out here throwing out holds like this, like, you know, I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, this is not a FIBA mechanic, you know? I'm like,
why? What's the FIBA hold?
The FIBA hold, it's here and like just arm, right? And it's some like, yeah. So I'll have pictures of it right now. So
we're gonna do a segment at the end of the show. It's gonna be some bonus content. It's gonna be called the difference between FIBA and NCAA signals. You down?
Yeah, I'm down. Like it's some of the NCAA stuff I actually like a lot more because FIBA's here to get, right? Whereas NCAA they hold like here, right? So the hand check's the same, the block is different, right? Block is like this here where FIBA's like this together, right? The legal, do you have a legal use?
We'll run through it. We'll run through them all. I want to make it its own segment.
Okay, cool,
we'll do it at the end. Yeah, I want to devote 10 minutes just to that. All right, so let's there's a lot of plays to discuss. Let's pull up your game tape and let's start breaking down some of the tape. You know, it's usually a lot smoother than this, Luke.
I'm telling you, it's this Canadian thing, man. We're living in a village up here, man.
All right, so I want to check out 552. I wrote positioning impacts play calling.
Yeah.
I thought you had a pretty good crew, man. Your partners were really good too.
Yeah, they're solid guys. They're solid guys. It made me feel very comfortable considering that this is my first year officiating at this level. And this was my first men's conference game. So really thankful for that, making me feel really just at home, you know.
Good run down the court, look athletic. All right, 552, A1. About to pull up here. Oh. And this is where you called it, where you weren't in the screen. So I just wanted to hear your thoughts on this play and why we weren't at the 28 there.
Can we rewind just a little bit back? I think I spaced up too far. I know I sometimes get in a bad habit of thinking that I'm in a two-person game.
Yeah.
So I kind of worked a little bit harder than I should have. I was out of position for sure. And I know looking at the play when the position I was at, I saw something happen, but like again, because I was in that 20-foot line, I didn't fully see the contact. And then I dropped in, as I was dropping down, I saw it fly by, and I felt this doesn't seem right, right? And I looked at the ball to judge the flight of the ball, if there was, because I know he didn't get ball, right? I looked at the flight of the ball to see if there was contact on the hand, and just him going right air ball. I mean, yeah, that flight path is not right, right? Like there was contact there. But again, if I was lower, I would have seen it, right? Instead of having more of a feel for it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you're out of position to basically to start this play, and then you never wind up catching up. Now, obviously, you're going to stay on the end line on this administration, on this pass. But as he passes to the point guard, right here, we need to be ball line. So don't even trail him this much. We should be at this probably either ball line or a step behind, but not 7 steps behind.
Yeah.
So we never wind up just catching up to this play. Even here, got to be ball line, got to be ball line, got to be ball line, got to be ball line. So you had plenty of time to get there. It's not like the play just was so far ahead of you because it was too fast. We just got to close down a little bit sooner, show a little bit sooner on there. And this is a tough play, to be honest with you. So you didn't see the contact, right? You're just basically going.
I saw the flyby. I saw the challenge, right? And to me, my gut was saying I'm like, oh, did he hit him, right? And I'm like, oh, did he hit him on that flyby? I thought on the spot it was more in the wrist area, but on video it seemed to hit him in the hand, right? And then I used a quick judgment of the ball to see the flight of the ball, to see, because I know he didn't get ball, right? I just did a quick judgment of the flight of the ball to see if there was contact there, right? And just looking at the flight path of the ball, I'm like, okay, like I feel like my gut was right? You know, I just try to use the external, wherever. No, it's what to describe the external cues to just make that call, right? But if I like use, I agree with you. If I was lower, I would and saw the two defenders and saw the space in between the defenders, I would have been 100% like, yeah, that he hit him, right?
Yeah. These are tough plays because remember, we always say hand's part of the ball, but you know, it's a question of what type of play are we talking about. On a ball handler, I can smack down at your hand, and that's legal, right? As long as it's not a huge wind up and follow through, and it's not like a cleanup foul where I'm purposely just trying to smack your hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the shot. That the high five motion where I'm finishing my free throw, my jump shot, and we just basically touch hands this way, not from the side, not from this side or the back, just that meet and greet of the high five. I usually let that go. I don't know if this play is that high five because I feel like the defender comes from the side. If you notice, Zero Blue's hand is out this way to finish. It's not, he's not finishing straight up, which would indicate that high five motion.
Yeah.
He's finishing to the side, which means to me, he might be a little wrist, and the defender is swatting kind of to the side of the hand.
Yeah.
And you use good logic here. It was an air ball. He didn't get the ball. But I just think if you were in a better position, you would be more certain what this contact was.
For sure. For sure.
But some good reasoning that you applied on this type of play. You know, you're looking at the trajectory of the ball, where it lands. You know the defender didn't touch the ball. So you're applying some good logic here.
Yeah, because usually I know if I was a defender and I got ball, I would be telling my teammates ball, right? Some people do that, right? So those cues tell you, like, I got ball, right? So we have no ball, right?
It's always nice when you're uncertain and you hear the defender say ball, ball, ball.
Yeah,
I got what he got. I got what he got. Not that we're listening to the players, guys.
Oh, no, but
never that. 10:05, own your primary. I think this could have been your play. Let's see. I think it originates in your space. So right here, like your radar's got to be up. We see a little grabbing. We see a little holding. Did you think to proactively officiate, use your voice?
I believe I was yelling, let him go, right? Trying to give him some sort of like you said, preventive officiating, right? But clearly he was not letting him go, and he was impeding his freedom of movement by trying to like hold him, right?
I think you could have called it right there.
Right there, yeah.
This play should never. We should never give the offensive player this opportunity on this play to then just start pushing back because he's being held. So now he's trying to displace, and he's just reacting to the initial action. I think we can kill this play right at the elbow. Do you agree with that?
I agree with you. I know all my notes when I wrote down, I rewatched the game bones. I wrote free throw line, contact, make the call. You know.
Because then it just gets ugly at the uglier.
It gets uglier, right? And by like it just could escalate to something bigger than this was, right? This could have just been a two-hand. Then Lukin got mad and two-hand shoved into the floor. And then we have an unsportsmanlike foul, and then just like if you just made the first call, right, the second call wouldn't come, right?
Yeah, this gets down to like cleaning up cutters and post plays. Call the first displacement or call the first illegal action.
Yeah.
Because by the time this play ends, we're like, how many fouls did we miss? Was it 1, 2?
Yeah.
So just own that. That's all you. Don't even let it get to your partner. Just come out strong right at the elbow. Boop, boop, stays here. Point to the spot or however you do it in FIBA. I'm not sure if I messed you up there.
No. That's good. It was cool. Communicate white foul and side out, and then go to the table and report and then go back.
What did you think of 13:57? My question to you is this a foul? I recognize that the defender initially gets very close to the ball handler. Maybe you could have called the foul sooner, but I couldn't see any contact on film.
Is the and one?
I'm sorry?
Is this the and one? No. Let me see it. All right. Oh, this one, yeah. So this guy, the whole game, he was a pest. Like he's like one of those guys that.
All right. The game kind of just started though.
Yeah. No. Throughout the game, he was. That the defender that stands there and like pokes here, pokes there, pokes here, pokes there. So two whites in triple threat, right? And he was doing this little hand thing, and like as White's head was down, he hit him in the face, like as he was trying to poke. That's why John is you see he heads up and he's like, dude, come on, bro. Like,
okay.
Right.
So 15 hits 2 in the face right there.
So that's why I made that call, right? Just as a cleanup, be like, dude, like you don't need hands on throughout the rest of the game, right? Like it was just a poke, and he had down, he hit him in the face. So I just made that call, be like,
listen, face contact is automatic. I don't have a problem with it. It didn't show up on film. That's why I was questioning, maybe we call this one here, second one, maybe nothing. And then I couldn't see what that left arm did. So you're saying hit him in the face.
All right. You see his reaction, just like his White's offhand, like, dude, like, come on. Like,
well, I understand. I understand he put his hand out. I didn't see him put his hand on his face.
I know it's hard to see on the film, but I remember that's what I saw. I saw a contact in the face. I was like, dude, we're not playing that game today.
Great. You're right there. My point on this one was I was assuming that there wasn't any contact on the one you called. And I was asking if you were just reacting to how close the defender is. And he puts his hand on him once, and then he takes a swipe, which misses. Then the third swipe. So I know on those plays, we have a heightened sense of awareness when a defender gets that close to a player. Okay. But we want to be correct, right? So
I understand what you do see on film. I'd be like, anyone to see this on film would be like, where's the foul, right? Like if it was a spectator watching, it'd be like, where's the foul? It wasn't the ref see, right? But
well, that's why the term "does film never lies." It's only predicated on the amount of cameras that are available.
It's true.
Because film does lie if it's one camera in the 14th row at mid-court, then the film can lie. If it's the NBA and D1 and they have every single angle, then yes, film does.
Yeah, with zoom up and everything, slow motion, it's kind of like it's a blessing at that level, man. Like zoom up and like just like slow motion everything on every different angle. It's just...
But I wanted to add a little bit of clarity to that phrase, film never lies, because it does lie. You just got to, you know, technology is a key factor in if film lies or not. Like, for instance, film just lied right now. That's why we trust the people that are right there. So on this play, you know, you're a little far behind the play right here. Right here, you're not connected to anything pretty much, right? Because it's a transition play. So just like kind of have an awareness of that before you run in and call from trail when it's opening up right to the lead. You know, because lead's right there. If the lead has nothing, if the lead has nothing, then you're gonna just take an extra step down. You know, don't call it immediately. Give it a cadence whistle. Then it'll allow you to get a little bit more closer to the play, more connected, and have a little bit more court presence when you're blowing the whistle. But cadence whistles, secondary whistles, we should have a cadence. So it shouldn't be at the same exact time as the primary official, right?
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't be synced up, at least on this type of play, I don't think. If you could just try to find the inner discipline to, okay, you saw the foul, but you're not going to go up with the fist right away because you're having that crew awareness to know your partner's right there. Okay, giving him a shot. He has it. No problem. I don't put my hand up. Okay, giving him a shot. Nothing. Doo-doo. Or doot.
Yeah. Definitely jumped the gun. You know, got a little bit too excited, you know? And it was great. I was really, and this is the thing with my partners. They, like, my partners knows that he probably should put that to the table, but knowing that I'm the younger official, he bounced it off the knee, right? So it makes me feel comfortable. So I really see like little things like that really made me feel good in this game.
Mm-hmm. And that's a veteran move because you know, we say primary official takes the play to the table, but you're not going to do that every time. There's a feel for the game. There's being a good partner. And in this case, you mapped it out perfectly. He's the veteran on the crew, and he wanted to give you a little bit of a confidence boost early on by giving you the head nod. You take it, partner. It's great. Yo, give your plays up to your partners. If you have a double whistle, be the ref that gives your play up. I'm not saying if it's immediately in front of you, but just think about that, giving it up, especially if it's a younger official. All right, we're going to the second quarter. Okay, you got a rebounding foul here. You look really sharp on this play. Love the way your fist goes up. Good point at the end. Kind of finishes off the play. Good reporting. Did you have any thoughts of maybe reporting a push because of all that contact, or was that a hit?
After reviewing it with the IPR, I'm like, it makes more sense for a push to happen instead of illegal contact, right? If the body to the floor, it's more likely that he's going to get pushed to the floor or bumped to the floor instead of hit to the floor, right?
Right. Yeah, definitely, especially when multiple bodies are on the ground. It's tough to get there from a hit. Hey, did we want to say anything to number 9, the Karate Kid who's wearing martial arts headbands? Or is that legal in FIBA?
No, it's not legal. I looked up the whole thing the other day, and they revised the what's his face ruling. I don't know, revised. It was probably not legal. I wasn't sure at that point if it was legal or not legal, so I didn't want to stir the pot, which is on me for not knowing the dress code rule 100%, right? But I did look it up the other day, and it's a no. So moving forward, and if I see a headband, I know we're not wearing headbands, right? So
There's no pot to stir. It's simply our duties to let them know what they can and can't wear. I know a lot of officials
yeah.
are like, oh, I don't want to start this. There's nothing to start. They should know how to come dressed to a sporting event.
True.
Don't feel bad about it. I know that's not what we want to do. We don't want to be the uniform police, but just check it out. See if anybody's wearing anything illegal. Just go let them
Yeah.
know, and then that's it.
I know for a fact that I wasn't 100% sure on it, so I wasn't going to say yes or no to it, because if I was wrong, then that's an whole issue itself, right?
Did you ask your partners?
I don't remember.
Okay. Good call on the block, because it probably forced him out of bounds, and we can't let a violation occur due to contact. So that was good.
I just didn't like my presentation of it. I think it was just too. I don't want just too. It just didn't seem like strong enough. You know what I mean? Just like
Well,
I know I have this problem because I'm so long that I kind of tend to not want to look like those blow up dolls in front of a car salesman place. Like those like wavy ones. So I've been trying to keep it tight, but like even when I do that block on the spot, it just kind of looks. I made myself look smaller than I actually am with that block. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, it was a kind of a nonchalant block, and you didn't do the full motion of it. Here's my thing. On non-block charge plays, I don't think there's any reason to show a block on the spot. Everybody knows this is a hip check. It's not the classic, I have to show you it's a block or a charge because everybody in the gym is expecting an answer. This play
Okay.
gets bumped out of bounds. It's a pretty obvious foul. I say,
Okay.
boom, and then just point to the spot.
Okay.
Simple. Don't even add the block, because
Okay.
you're not motivated to do a block on a non-block charge play because there's no juice in it. You're just like, eh. And I say
Okay.
you, and I mean everyone. Block charge plays, you're ready for that block or that charge. On this little hip check, it's not that classic block charge play. So I don't think there's really a need to let everybody know.
Okay.
If you eliminate the block, then everything's good. Your
Yeah,
flip was
yeah,
great. Your
yeah.
point was good. 601, we have a N1. Take me through it. Now we're stacked on film. So tell me what the contact was.
From my recollection, it was 3 blue, swung down, and made contact on a player that was in the act of shooting. Right, so he hands up, and then comes through and hits. And I just don't remember if it was the type of level of contact was. It was like I just don't remember the play because it was so long ago. I don't know if I held my whistle for a little bit longer, would it have affected it? I'm not sure. Did I jump the gun? I could have. Like I don't remember it, but I just remember swipe down, right? White goes through the swipe down and finishes, right?
Yeah, the
So the
freeze
question is,
frame.
if I held my whistle for a second longer, was it enough illegal contact for it to affect the shot? You know what I mean? Like this, it seems like he played through it pretty well, right?
It's tough to tell, and I don't want to guess. And I was just going to say, oh, it looked like a foul because when I freeze framed it right here, it looked like the ball was popping loose, but it's tough to tell on a freeze frame, right? You can make a lot of things look like something on a freeze frame. All I would say was here is just anticipate the point of contact. So what that means is, as this defender is backing up and you see his left arm go up, you know where that point of contact is going to be. It's going to be down in between where his hand starts and where the offensive player, the ball is, right? It's going to be somewhere in the middle there. So just shift your eyes to where that is and just try to lock in on that location. Like you're a sniper. You're looking in a very small, fine area. So that's what I'll say. Just anticipate the point of contact, focus in on it, and do your best to differentiate between legal or illegal.
Yeah. I just remember there's a swipe down. There's just a question of, was it legal or was it marginal, right?
I mean, just because on film he played through it with no rhythm, speed, or balance effect, it doesn't mean that swipe was like a lot of the arm and it just needed to be called. It's okay.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I know we talk about having cheap N1s a lot, but they're a part of the game and they're a good part of the game when called correctly. So that could have been a good N1. I'm not sure. I just think there's other layers that we can add to the next time you see this similar play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go to Q3. All right, 7:27. You have a free throw violation. I assume you called it on blue 21.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. What'd you have here?
Yeah. Free throw violation, blue 21, leaving prior to the release of the ball.
I guess.
Now the question is, do I have a double violation here, right?
You know
Because
what?
when blue leaves, white leaves as well, right?
Yeah, you know what? That's so close. I might just let that go.
Mhm.
Plus, real time, not many people are going to see this. I think you have to stop it to really tell. Like, I
Yeah.
wasn't sure until I stopped it.
Okay.
Let's get scientific. Let's get the correct call by pressing
It's
stop.
just crazy though, because like a lot of this stuff, when you see it on the court, it just seems like it's so much slower, sometimes. And then when you see it on film, you're like, wait, like was that close? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So if we're reffing, after the play on film, then we can easily make this call and get double violation, right?
Yeah.
Really tough to tell live. I'm surprised you picked it up.
Yeah, I thought I saw blue leave early to come in because I know that's the point of emphasis this season that free throw shooter rebounders are leaving early, and just to be aware of that. So
Yeah, it's either we're going to call it on both or call it on no one, I think.
yeah.
Probably no one is the best bet.
Yeah, I think so. And then the coach wasn't happy with it, so then we got a coach's warning with it. So
What did he say?
uh he said if I not, I don't know if it's word for word, but it's something like call the over the back on the other side or something along the lines and use my name, right? Like, don't, pretty much his message was pretty much saying like, don't focus on that, focus on the rebounding fouls and use my name, right? So then I said, okay, well, like, if you just said what you had to say, I could have maybe on the next dead ball had a conversation with you. But if you use my name, like, I felt like kind of a little bit too personal. So I just thought like, okay, like this is where I feel the line in the sand. Like,
Did he shout it?
he shouted it from his bench area.
He was like, "Come on, focus on the rebound, Luke."
Something like, and not those words, but like that's the message, right?
Listen, you don't have to sell me on a warning or a technical foul. I'm sold. I'll tell you what, I'm done making excuses for myself and for other officials why we shouldn't call a technical foul. That's what we've been doing our whole careers, talking ourselves out of it. Well, let's not give it here. Let's throw more rope this way. Oh, let's just avoid that comment. We're always trying to avoid when we just keep getting it thrown at us.
Yeah.
There's only so much we can do.
Yeah.
So don't overthink these texts and warnings.
No.
How we go about it, how we communicate in the meantime makes the world of a difference. But, sometimes there's no more words to be said.
Mm-hmm.
Either we're going to use our words to make these coaches and players compliant, or it's just not going to work. And then we're going to use our tools. Use the rules. All right, out of bounds, slow rotations, 1822, RA play. All right, 1926. That's what I want. 1926. I wrote RA play, question mark. Does a secondary.
Oh, yes, I remember this play.
Does the secondary defender have his feet in the restricted area on this play? Or is he legal defender outside of the RA? What do you have? Take us through it.
So, you know, right here, right? Contact's occurring. It looks like contact's don't occur on the floor, right? So for an RA play, the player has to be airborne, either shooting or passing, correct? So if he had legal ground position and stood up and got knocked over, contact on the floor should be a charge, right?
Well, if his heel is on the line and he's stationary and grounded, then that's an RA play. If he jumps straight up, vertical defender, now he's in the air, the RA is not applicable.
Okay. But even this whole play even has an extra layer to it because if you watch me, I felt that contact that he was faking the foul. Just the way, like, look,
Who was faking the foul?
Blue when you rotate over. Just look how he drops himself to the floor, right? Like he didn't get hit to the floor. He like sat down and then like put his leg back, put his hand down, kind of.
There's evidence of flopping DNA in this contact.
Yeah, right. And so in the pregame, we had a pregame on personnel, right? He was warned earlier in the first quarter to the coach. I think Blue got a warning in the first quarter. We're on a play that was similar like this. That there was by my partner that a faking a foul warning was given, right? I forgot that the faking the foul warning was given, and I was about to administer a faking the foul warning here, right? If you watch my hand, like my hand goes up, and I realized, oh damn, like that. You can't have two faking the foul warnings. Like you get one warning, you get one technical. That's one's gonna be a technical, right? So my thought process was like, oh damn, like I made like, am I going to hit out another technical, or I'm just going to let this play develop and see if the ball just goes in, right? No, like we'll just like play on as nothing happened, all right? But I know as I was running up down the court from White's head coach, I was getting a earful of that's faking the foul. That should be a faking the foul warning. Because he didn't. I don't think he knew that the other team was warned, given a faking a foul warning, right? Because if he knew, he would be yelling at me, "That's a technical foul," rather than that's a faking the foul warning, right?
Okay, so after watching this play, what do you think the best call is? Are we acknowledging his left foot? What do we think of his left foot?
It's touching the restricted area. I think it's touching.
Did you know that on site, or did you have to
on site? I'll be honest with you. I had a bad sequencing. I didn't do feet defender contact. Right. I didn't look at the feet at the defender's feet.
The C probably has the best look at this left foot because there's no obstructions.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking at the heel, so the center definitely has a better look. So this is where these these RA plays, need multiple referees sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know. In my opinion, I think a RA block would be the best call here. Yeah, there's elements of a flop, but I think it's more of a block than a flop, and we can't have both in one.
Yeah.
I think because his left heel to me is in the RA. Again, you guys were there. It's tough to tell with certainty from the film if his heel is touching the line at the immediate point of contact. And if you're certain it's a flop, then just let the ball go in as you're doing, or whatever. What's your signal for a flop warning?
It's like,
okay. Ours is two. So
just repeat, right? With one hand, right?
Yeah, we do two. So similar motion.
Yeah.
As soon as you see them do that, you're showing the motion, and then the next dead ball, we're killing the play.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's look at one more, and then I'll have you finish up with any questions. Might have to schedule our signal for another time, but I do want to do it. It's going to be a new segment. I'm switching to Patreon. You heard of Patreon?
No.
So real quick, I'll tell you, because I know you're a loyal subscriber. You know, I put out 2.5 years of my best stuff, free stuff. So I'm now going to switch to Patreon, which is a subscription-based app. I don't know the pricing yet, but I think there'll be 3 different tiers of pricing, and I'll still put out free stuff. And there's tons of free stuff up, you know, in perpetuity. There's been so much content uploaded. But moving forward, probably in 2 months, I'm going to go to a subscription based where a large majority of my content is going to be subscription based.
Okay. I think it's a good move for you. Like you have a good following. You've given the community so much, right? Without asking for anything in return, right?
Right.
So
I think I have a little bit of leverage to now ask. I'm not ready. It's a few months away because I'm about to go out with a bang.
Yeah.
Wait till you see the guests I put on before I go. This is give people incentive to follow me.
No, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it's just like with anything you do, right? Like it's.
Thank you. And the content is going to get way better because it's going to be it's going to be smaller. I'm not going to have the same following on Patreon.
No.
So it's going to be smaller. So like there might be 100 people that are on the platform. So I'm giving away like my deepest stuff for 100 people. The stuff you see, I'm putting out for the public. So I'm thinking public, big picture. There's thousands of people sometimes that see it. I'm going to make different content for thousands than I am for one, just like I am for you right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's a good opportunity for like that loyal, you know, fan base to really get even better content from me. So, all right, let's finish with a little charge call you had. I wrote excellent player control foul here. B1 establishes legal guarding position, 2 and through. Love your cadence there. You gave the lead the first crack. You dropped your whistle. You smoothly picked it back up. No one saw. What'd you think of that play?
I liked it. Defender did slide in to help rotate from help side, and
well, that doesn't mean anything illegal to me, though.
Pardon me?
That doesn't mean anything illegal to me. So
yeah, he established the guard position, got in the chest, and then made the call. Right. The only thing right here is I need to stop the clock before I throw out the hand signal. Right.
That was my question. I wasn't sure if FIBA stopped.
Yeah, no, you need to stop the clock. I don't know where it must be a bad habit. I don't know if this is watching too much NBA guys or whatever, or just having a bad habit of not having that practice in the mirror of stop clock, then throw, stop clock, then throw. So and then adding your video mechanics to it, right? Just like stop and then do like the boom while looking at the play, right? So
yeah, a few additions there to, I think, really help you present your strongest version of yourself.
Yeah.
And plus, stopping the clock gives us that extra second to process.
Yes.
You know, so you do that on all your charges. You still haven't built the muscle memory to stop the clock.
Yeah, I haven't done. On some of them I do. On some of them I do this and just do this. Right, straight fist. Right. But some of the for some reason that game, or like sometimes my time just happens like that, I kind of just do the quick boom, right? I just go quick into it instead of like boom and just give me a nice.
Yeah, so I mean, I think every official at some point has struggled getting their fist up on a player control foul. It took me a year and a half to do so. It's like not an easy thing, at least for me it wasn't. But this tells me overall you need to slow down everything. Because this is just a matter of slowing things down. You see the contact, instead of punching, it's contact, think.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Yes.
That way.
Yeah.
So if you're probably too fast on your player control fouls and probably a bunch of other type plays too. So just focus on trying to slow everything down. I know that was one of the notes we had for you was patience, pain tolerance.
Yeah, I do find myself sometimes I'm shooting a gun, you know, like I see the play develop before it happens, and then like it happens, I'm like, oh yeah, it's like in my mind I'm already like 2 steps ahead, and I see it happen, like, oh yeah, that's going to happen, and I just quickly just go into it instead of just like taking that deep breath and then presenting it and then just being strong on the spot, right? Like that, I don't know, we didn't review this one, but that sideline crash, I think in the fourth quarter, right? Like on the spot, I thought I had a lot more time with when he landed the 1-2 and knock over, but on video it was millimeters.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
I have to look at it again.
Yeah, but yeah, that was the one where I was like, the crew sent that clip and we had like a discussion about it. It was like, yeah, like I'm like, damn, like on the floor, I saw a defender read the play, rotate over. I'm like, oh yeah, we don't have a block, a block or a charge, right? Like a crash. So I'm like, okay, I saw the guy land, 1-2, boom, knock over, boom, I'm going the other way, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on the video, like it was literally millimeters of the guy actually landing with 2, right? So I was like I don't know. It's just weird when you see it on film. Like it just seems like it's so much. The details are like that sometimes so close, whereas on the floor, it just the gap seems wider than the what you see on film, right?
Feels way different live than when you watch it post.
Yeah. So
that's the best thing is just slowing every aspect of the game down to try to see the game slower than faster. The slower we can see the game, the more information and the more accurate we're going to be. Think of, NBA 2K, to use this reference. When you're playing on all-star level so fast, you slow it down to rookie mode. Now you're seeing the game slowly. We want to ref on rookie mode. We don't want to ref like a rookie.
Yeah.
But we want the speed mentally in our mind to be on rookie mode.
Yeah. But it's just that with your point, that's just so interesting that as you move up the ladder, right? Remember when you first started like the junior varsity game, how quick that game was? And now going back to watch the junior varsity game, it's like on rookie mode. Like no offense or anything, but everything's just played at such a slower tempo, right? It's
not even on rookie mode. It's on like double dribble mode.
Right?
1980s.
Right? It's this point.
Pre-2K. But no, it was a pleasure working with you, man. You showed a lot of potential. I think you really have a chance to accomplish whatever you want with your passion for the craft. You have natural ability, and I know you're going to work hard to improve, all of the areas that we covered that you can grow.
Right. So I appreciate that. I appreciate your time and your service and your passion for being I don't know, just putting out the content out there, just being like I said, the first time we talked, I felt like I've known you for 10 years, right? Like you're just this is just a family member, just like another guy I repped with, right? Like a mentor, right? So yeah, I'm very fortunate to have a good group of guys up here in our association, right? There's been a lot of guys who've taken care of me, a lot of guys who've said things to me, giving me tips along the way. So just adding you into that family, it just really is. I'm really fortunate to be in the position I am, right? I've only been doing this for 5 years, right? And between you and I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for another official that told me dude, why'd you leave, right? Because I did 1 year and I left, and I was like, I try and burn myself out because this is something new. I was like, it's so fun. I was a yes man, just every day, Monday to Friday and Saturdays doing 2 games a day, just maybe some days I was doing 3 games a day, depending on what the signer needed. And I just got to a point where I was like, man, I need a break, right? And just that break just turned into a hiatus, right? So then I ran into an official in a summer tournament outdoors, and he said why'd you stop? Come back. I'm like, you know what? I'll give this a shot. We'll see where this goes, right? And then here we are,
Well, shout out to him for inspiring you to come back, and I'm glad that we had this opportunity to work today. I look forward to helping you out down the line.
Thank you so much.
You got it.
If you ever have any game tape of you want to send my way, I'm more than happy just to watch it.
Shoot me a text. I will.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. All right.
Thank you so much.
Anytime, brother. Later.
See you.
Thank you for listening to the Crown Refs Podcast. Serve the game.